They asked for Earth's help. And regretted it. Chapter 1. The signal that should never have been sent. The Great Council of the Zarn Confederation convened in urgent session for the first time in nearly 2 centuries. The chamber, vast and echoing, carved from the crystalline bones of a long-dead world, vibrated with tension. Representatives of 100 alien species, each unique in biology and temperament, gathered in concentric tiers, their collective attention fixed on the shimmering hologram in the center. It was not a speech. It was a scream, garbled, broken, and desperate. The message looped every 12 seconds. If anyone, please, gods, anyone, they're inside the vaults. They've breached. Sector 12 is gone. Zarn Prime needs immediate. Static, then silence. The feed snapped back to the beginning, and the scream repeated. High Chancellor Vectel of the Zarn stood, his green-flecked exoskin dulled with stress. You've all seen the data. The Hive Rod have broken containment. Our prime world is falling. A murmur of panic rippled through the chamber. The Hive Rot. A biomechanical plague. Unstoppable. Unreasoning. They consumed, adapted, and replicated. Dozens of colonies had vanished under their ever-expanding tide. We've activated every reserve fleet. Bechtel continued, voice tight. Our walls are breaking. We must request outside intervention. That silenced the room more than the message ever could. Outside intervention? From whom? The Solari Collective? Gone. The Veil born of the Crimson Rims? In hiding. The Andaran Empire? Refused contact. All major powers were either shattered, retreating, or watching silently behind their planetary shields. The room filled with whispers. All had heard the same rumors. One name. One species. One wildcard. Earth. A planet once laughed at in the annals of galactic records. Chaotic. Primitive. Dangerous. A world of violent storms and even more violent inhabitants. But rumors, always rumors, spoke of their silence. How they'd stopped broadcasting. How they had turned inward. And how, when the Hive Rod first emerged on the edge of their own territory, they were erased. Not fought. Not defended against. Erased. They're savages, spat Ambassador Lincor of the Seric. Barbaric. They war among themselves for sport. Better to have savages than extinction, muttered Councillor Duroth of the Marin. After long silence, Vectel raised a trembling claw and said, The vote begins now. One by one, lights around the chamber turned green. Chapter 2. Earth answers. They expected a fleet. A battalion, maybe. Instead, what they received was a single vessel. It wasn't even large by galactic standards. No visible weapons. No escorts. Just a sleek, black craft that shimmered like obsidian against the stars. It exited slip space at the edge of Zarn Prime's system and sent a simple message. Permission to land. One representative on board. Permission was granted reluctantly. Security teams were placed on high alert. Orbital defenses charged. The ship landed in silence. From its ramp walked a single human. She was average in height, armored in a form-fitting suit with no insignia. No helmet. Just a calm, expressionless face and piercing eyes that seemed to weigh everything. I am Commander Ishikade, she said. I've been sent to assess. Assess? Hissed Lincor. You sent one human to assess an extinction-level threat? I will determine if your species is worth assisting, Cade replied, as if commenting on the weather. The insult hung in the air like poison. I'll need full access to your defense logs, current deployments, and Hive Rod breach patterns, she said, striding forward without waiting for permission. They followed. Because what else could they do? Chapter 3. Earth decides. Commander Cade moved like someone who had walked through fire and come out colder. For 2 days, she analyzed data. No sleep. No food. She connected a black cube, alien in design even to the Zarn, into their systems and watched it consume everything. At the dawn of the 3rd day, she stood in the war chamber, expression unreadable. "You are losing because you fight wrong," she said bluntly. "You focus on defense. Walls. Fortresses. These things mean nothing to the Hive Rot. What would you suggest?" Vectel asked cautiously. She looked at him as though he were a child. "We erase them." A heavy silence. "How?" someone whispered. "I will return," she said. "And when we come, remove all civilians from contested zones. If they remain, they die." With that, she left, and Earth said nothing more. Chapter 4. The Black Armada. 7 days later, the sky tore open. It began with a ripple. Then a crack. Then dozens, hundreds, of dark, angular ships burst forth from slip space like sharks breaching the surface of a calm ocean. They had no insignias. No flags. No broadcasted codes. Just cold, silent arrival. The largest ship, towering, city-sized, humming with restrained power, positioned itself above Zarn Prime's atmosphere. A single signal was sent. "Operation Null Field begins." And then, darkness. All Hive-Rot signals in orbit died. No explosions. No EMPs. Just absence. As if they'd never existed. Then came the drones. Thousands of them. Insectal in shape but far too efficient. They landed silently across the surface, scanning, mapping, marking. Within hours, Earth's machines understood the terrain better than the Zarn ever had. Then the real weapons arrived. Autonomous death engines, black mechs bristling with strange energies, moved with fluid, terrifying precision. They didn't fight. They exterminated. Hive-Rot were dissected, catalogued, and burned into non-existence. Zarn military observers stood helpless, watching the tide of black steel sweep across their world like a scythe through grain. In 26 hours, it was over. Chapter 5. The Price of Mercy. The skies were quiet. Zarn Prime's horizon no longer glowed with fire, nor rumbled with the tremors of battle. The Hive-Rot were gone, burned, dissected, or atomized by Earth's machines. Entire caverns that once pulsed with biomechanical life were now hollow crypts. But no cheers rose from the surviving Zarn citizens. Not one anthem played. Because alongside the Hive-Rot, thousands of Zarn civilians who had refused relocation, who believed Earth's arrival meant salvation, were also gone. Collateral. Burned in plasma fire. Shredded by black mechs that could not distinguish loyalty from infestation. And Earth offered no apology. When Chancellor Vectel confronted Commander Cade, his voice trembled with barely controlled fury. "You murdered our people." Cade didn't flinch. "They were infected. They were scared." She looked at him. "Fear is irrelevant when survival is at stake." Vectel's claws scraped against the cold table. "There were children." Cade turned away. "We warned you. Earth does not do mercy. Only survival." Chapter 6. Earth's doctrine. In the weeks that followed, Earth established forward bases on the liberated worlds. Not embassies, outposts. Cold, automated, and impenetrable. They did not ask for permission. They took position. Human operatives, always solitary, always silent, moved through the Confederation like shadows. They shared no technology. They offered no explanations. But their presence was enough to keep the Hive-Rot from returning. Until someone asked the question no one dared. Counselor Duroth, ever the foolhardy one, confronted Cade during a diplomatic session. "What does Earth want in return?" She paused. Looked at him. Then gave the most terrifying answer imaginable. "Nothing." A silence fell across the chamber. "Nothing?" Duroth whispered. You commit resources. Risk your own kind. Why? Cade's eyes glinted. We do not fight for you. We fight to keep the infection from reaching us. Your survival is incidental. And suddenly the Confederation understood. Earth wasn't an ally. Earth was a firewall. Chapter 7. The ones who returned on the outer rim of the Confederation. A remote listening post detected an anomaly. A ripple in space. Then another. A pattern. The hive wrought were adapting. Earth's suppression had held them back, but not destroyed them all. A new strain was evolving. Silent. Smarter. Invisible to scans. They had learned from their extermination. And now, they were coming back. The Zarn screamed for Earth again. This time, Earth did not respond. And those ships came. No drones. No Cade, just silence. Panic erupted. Worlds evacuated. Borders collapsed. Millions fled toward Earth's sector, believing that proximity would grant protection. It did not, because Earth's borders were closed. The stars themselves around Sol had changed. Satellite suns orbiting Earth like artificial guardians. Wormhole gates that once connected the Confederation to Earth's trade routes went dead. The message was clear. You had your warning. You failed to evolve. Earth protects Earth. Chapter 8. Regret, etched in stone. Years passed. The Zarn Confederation was no more, just scattered systems, fractured alliances, broken stations orbiting dead worlds. Legends began to circulate among survivors. Of Earth's ghost fleets, still patrolling the darkness. Of orbital platforms that obliterated anything that drifted too close. Of machines that moved without orders, enforcing a doctrine humanity had coded into the stars: survive. No matter the cost. On what remained of Zarn Prime, a monument stood. Black stone, untouched by age. No symbols. No dedications. Just one sentence, etched in hundreds of languages. We asked for help. And they came. And we wished they hadn't. In the dark void beyond the rim, a human voice crackled through forgotten frequencies. A warning. This galaxy belongs to those who earn it, not those who beg. And then Earth was silent once more. The END.